Well, it's been a busy 2026. It's time for me to have a look at what I've done so far and also what my plans are for the next few months. How am I going to finish off 2026 really strongly? Hi, Manny here. So this year I've already done quite a bit of running. I've had a relatively busy year for 2026. So let's have a little look back at the stats and what I've done. I've pulled this information through from Strava. You can see there that I've done over 80 kilometers per week, which comes out to around 50 miles per week. And that's in the months from January to July, to the end of July. January to April was very much marathon based. So it was all marathon, high mileage, lots of specific sessions in long runs. A fair bit of racing in there as well, but it was only support racing. The main thing was the focus was the marathon. So I did a lot more mileage there. And then there's a bit of a recovery, the end of April, start of May, and then I've done a little 5K block to get my speed going with no real plans for what to do after the 5K block. It kind of just stopped there, and it depended on how I did from the 5K and what I felt like doing over the summer and for the rest of the year.
If you are enjoying this video and do like my content in general, please remember to like and subscribe. It does really help. Thanks a lot. On with the video.
My long-term goal is the London Marathon, which I've got quite a, how do I put it, challenging goal at the moment. I've done quite a bit of racing over the year, fair bit of cross country early on. Then we came up with a half marathon. Obviously, the Newport Marathon I did. Then I did a few shorter races, so a 3, 4, and 5 mile at the Slamfronic series, which was absolutely brilliant fun, where I got course PBs on every distance and did really well for me. Probably about the best I'm going to do. Managed to come third overall. Also, as part of Wrekin Athletic Club, entered the Castles Relay, which was great fun. Really good experience. Hopefully, we can do that again next year. Finishing off with the Safa 5K last week. So, as I say, I've got to that point and I don't really have another plan. So now it's time to look back to see where I am now and also what I want to do going forwards. So as you can see there, we've got my 5K personal best of 16:40. That was done last week at the Safa 5K. Really good performance. I was very happy with that. My 10K I did in Newport last year, just before my Manchester Marathon. So a couple of weeks before Manchester Marathon. So I was just kind of testing my fitness there. And then the half marathon I did this year as well in March. That was at the Great Welsh Marathon, but I did the half marathon along there, which was a really good day out for me. And then obviously the marathon I did in Newport, had a really good day, although a little bit of illness. I had a good day there and managed to get a really good PB. I'm going to let you into a little secret here that I've told a few people, but not everyone. And now I'm going to put it out there that my long-term goal is to run sub 2:30 in the marathon. Now, as we can see from my 2:47, I am nowhere near that at the moment, and I'm not looking to just go out and do that tomorrow. As I know with running, it's an incremental process. I don't even know if I can do that, but it's just a level where I think that would be really, really hard for me. Because although I'd run relatively quickly, I don't feel like I've got everything out of my body. I don't think I'm even that close to that. So I want to see how fast I can get and just put a big time out there and see how close I can get to it. Now, at the moment, I don't know how realistic that is, but I'm just going to go year on year and just see when I hit that wall or that ceiling. Because at the moment, I'm improving relatively quickly. I know it's going to slow down at some point, but I also know that I'm not really pushing that hard for my body. I can do more. I can change my training a little bit. I can be a bit more specific because at the moment I just do a lot of stuff just for fun, which is good. And I want to keep that, but at the same time, get the joy of having that time that I really think is something that I would never have dreamt I'd be able to do. And I still might not. But that's the fun of it. It's the unknown and it's the trying to get your body to do things that you maybe didn't expect it to be able to do. I remember when I first started running a few years ago, I was trying to break 20 minutes for the 5K. I thought that was a really, really hard task. And then 3 years later, I'm running that or faster than that for the distance of a marathon. So again, I know that early on you will have big gains, but I think there's a lot more left on the table. I think I could really give it a good stab. That being said, I'm very aware you don't just go from a 2:47 to a 2:30. or sub 2:30. That is ridiculous, and that's not going to happen. So next year, my tentative target was a sub 2:40. So that's something that I felt like I could do. But again, it doesn't mean that that's what I'm going to say. Well, I'm going to definitely go for 2:40. I'm going to go for around that. I'm hoping it might be a little bit quicker. But what I really want to do is get the other distances into that area.
So what do I mean by that area? So once again, we go to the VDOT calculator online and we type in 240 marathon. And then what we'll come up with will be some equivalent paces. So some speeds that I need to be going, or some times that I should be getting in other distances. So the 5K, 10K and half marathon are the ones I'll be specifically looking at this time. So for a 240 marathon at the moment, if I wanted to start training for it tomorrow, I'd be looking at trying to have a 5K time of 16:41, 10K of 34:37, and a half marathon of 1:16:29. So we're looking at the comparisons here. So for the 5K, brilliant. We're looking for a 16:41. I've got a 16:40. A 10K work to do. So we want 34:37 and got a 37:31. And then with a half marathon, we've got a 1:17:28 and we're looking for a 1:16:29. So looking at those, what are we thinking would be a good idea to do next? Anything that rather sticks out like a sore thumb? Yeah, I think we're looking at that 10K. So the 37:31, so it was done last year at a 3:45 per kilometre average pace. Now that's 5 seconds a kilometre slower than my half marathon. So I think it's pretty clear that I'm going to be doing a 10K. Let's find one.
So as if by magic, I have already found one. So I'll be racing 10K in Cardiff on the 4th of September this year. So it's about five or so weeks away. I'll do a little block of 10K training and see if I can't get that time down to something a little bit more reasonable. It'll give me a good base to build off for that next goal.
So let's have a quick check-in with the Strava and Garmin predictions. So Strava currently has me at 35:11, whilst Garmin has me a little bit quicker at 35:04. Now, the Garmin prediction was almost spot on for my 5K race that I did the other day. So I'm quite happy with where those are. Would quite like to get under 35 and then push towards, that target of the 34 mid, which would be really nice.
So that's my next month or so, a little bit over sorted out. Please remember to like and subscribe if you like the channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time.